Today, we're diving into one of the absolute biggest shifts happening in artificial intelligence. We're talking about the move into a multimodal world. It's a world where machines are actually learning to see, to hear, and to understand things in a way that's, well, it's starting to look a whole lot like how we do it. Just let that sink in for a second. It's 2026, and this is the new reality. AI is no longer just some text-based brain stuck in a box. Nope. It can now see, hear, and process the world around it much, much more closely to the way you and I do. And this isn't some far-off science fiction fantasy. This is the real foundation of the next wave of technology that's already here. So, what does this actually look like in the real world? Well, let's take something like precision agriculture. You've got a drone flying over a huge field, snapping pictures. That's the see part. Then the AI starts to reason. It looks at that visual data, and using all its training, it can tell the difference between a valuable crop and an invasive weed. And then, and this is the game changer, it acts. It generates a specific, actionable command telling a robot on the ground exactly where to go and what to do. It's a complete see, reason, act loop, all powered by AI. That example really shows what a fundamental leap this is. We're moving way beyond an AI that only gets language. We're talking about an AI that can perceive a much richer, way more complex world. So let's break down exactly what that means. You know, for years, most of us have been interacting with what's called unimodal AI. Just think of those early chatbots. They only understood one thing: text. That's it. But multimodal AI? It's built from the ground up to process and connect information from a whole bunch of different sources all at once. It's really the difference between just reading the words in a book versus watching the movie with the picture, the sound, and the subtitles all working together. And here's the more formal definition, just so we're all on the same page. It's all about combining these different data streams, text, images, audio, to create one single unified understanding. But the key phrase here, the most important part, is that these models consistently outperform the ones trained on just one data type. It's pretty simple, really. By seeing the whole picture, the AI just makes smarter, more context-aware decisions. Okay, that all sounds fantastic, but how? How does it actually work? I mean, how do you teach a machine to connect a word to a sound, or a sound to an image? Let's pop the hood and take a look inside the engine room. So at the very core of multimodal AI, there are two absolutely critical processes. You can think of them as the secret sauce. First, you have to get the data to align, and then you have to fuse it all together. If you can get these two steps right, you unlock a whole new level of machine intelligence. All right, step one is alignment. This is all about teaching the AI to map different kinds of data into a common space where they can be compared. So, for example, a model like Clip gets trained on millions and millions of image and text pairs until it just gets it. It learns that the letters CAT and a picture of a furry, four-legged animal that meows actually represent the exact same concept. It's literally aligning the word with the pixels. So, once all that data is aligned, the next step is fusion. And this is where the real magic happens. It uses these really advanced methods that act kind of like a conductor in an orchestra. The conductor has to decide which instrument, or in our case, which data type, should be the loudest or most prominent at any given moment. So it's not just about mashing data together, it's about creating a single, cohesive understanding, where the whole is so much greater than the sum of its parts. Okay, so we've got this powerful new engine. What can we build with it? Well, the truth is, this technology is already starting to remake entire industries from the ground up. Let's take a look at some of the most exciting applications. The impact is just massive. In healthcare, just imagine an AI that can look at a CT scan, a patient's genetic profile, and their doctor's clinical notes all at once to spot a disease way earlier than any human ever could. In robotics, it's about giving machines the senses they need to safely navigate a busy, chaotic warehouse, or even your cluttered living room. For media, it's about generating entire video scenes from nothing more than a simple text prompt. And in customer service, it means an AI can understand not just what a customer is typing, but the frustration in their voice, leading to much, much better outcomes. Now, let's zoom in on that generative media point for a second, because the creative field is going through this incredible transformation. We've moved way past just making static images. Now we're talking about creating entire, dynamic, moving scenes. Now, this table, it might look a bit technical, but what it's showing us is absolutely fascinating. This benchmark, TDY Cora Bench, it doesn't just grade how pretty a picture is, it measures something called compositional reasoning. In other words, Does the model actually understand spatial relationships? Like, if you ask it to put the blue bench to the left of the green car, can it do that? And as you can see, models like Qwen Image are scoring incredibly high. This shows that AI is getting so much better at understanding not just the words, but the logic that connects them. And this isn't just some technical curiosity for researchers. It has very real-world career implications. As this quote makes clear, understanding how to build and work with these complex, multi-sense systems, well, it's quickly becoming the #1 most valuable skill in the entire AI field. It's what separates the leaders from the rest of the pack. But of course, a technology this powerful isn't without its challenges. The road ahead is definitely filled with some pretty significant technical and ethical hurdles that we're all going to have to navigate very, very carefully. Because let's be honest, with this kind of incredible new power comes a whole new set of risks that we absolutely have to manage. And these challenges are serious. For instance, if the data you train the model on is biased, the model will learn and probably even amplify those biases. The cost, the sheer computational cost to train these things is astronomical. And as they get more complex, they can become more of a black box, making it incredibly difficult to explain why they made a certain decision. But honestly, one of the biggest bottlenecks of all is the data itself. And that data problem, it is massive. Just look at this number, 41%. It really illustrates the scale of what we're up against. So what does it actually represent? That's the percentage of organizations that say they struggle with inconsistent data. You just can't build a reliable system that truly understands the world if its very foundation, the data it learns from, is messy or mislabeled or incomplete. It's that old problem of garbage in, garbage out, but now it's amplified across multiple senses. Which really leaves us with one final, pretty profound thought. We've successfully given machines something that looks a lot like senses. The next, and maybe much harder challenge, isn't just about sharpening those senses. It's about how we teach the AI to use them with wisdom, with fairness, and with a deep, genuine understanding of our world.